Hello and welcome to History's a Blast. We're in Bedford, Pennsylvania today, and we're going to visit the old Fort Bedford Museum. It's not located on the original site, and it's a privately owned museum that's been around for years and years and years. But in the early 2000s, they went through some significant renovations and have updated their stuff. And I'm looking forward to see this for the first time since I was a Cub Scout, believe it or not. So come along. The old Fort Bedford Museum. My goodness gracious. It's been ages. I guess if you don't pay your fee and they catch you trying to break in, they put you in the stocks over there. There's a map of where the fort stood. It's just a little bit downstream from here, so we'll maybe walk down the trail a little bit later and the story of Indian Eve. Oh yeah, this is a recent exhibit. Taken captive in 1777, all the way to Detroit. Here's a model of the fort. Here's a nice little portable forge. Reconstruction. Remains of the fort. Outline of the trenches. Most of the area has been built over the years, so the fort is mostly obliterated underground. But history of the landscape. Contact. Now there's a copy of the painting of General Braddock. There's Colonel Washington in the blue coat overlooking him. I'll go back into this room. This is part of their original collection. There's a nice sleigh. Conestoga wagon. Boy, there you go. That's the Conestoga wagon. And the Conestoga wagons get their name from their origin in the Conestoga Valley, Conestoga Creek Valley, in Lancaster County over in Pennsylvania, today's Pennsylvania Dutch country. But these wagons were built to carry cargo along the turnpikes and the roads, such as they were, from the eastern part of Pennsylvania to all the way to Pittsburgh in some cases on the toll roads. They would carry, what was the capacity, Debbie? 6 tons? The capacity of 6 tons. And we're looking at the front. You can see the wheels in the front are smaller than the wheels in the back. You can also see how they got the name prairie schooners from later on when wagons of this design were used on the Oregon Trail and migration west into the Great West, Great Plains as prairie schooners because of the boat shape. Well, they can float. That's right. They can be floated across streams. That's a good point. Because the ends are actually doors, like ramps that come down. So you can float them across streams, or see how they have the arched bottoms to them? And that would keep them from getting stuck in the mud too. Because with a flat bottom, it would get suction. With this curved bottom, it would help prevent suction it'd be easier to get the wagons out of the mud if they got mired. Yeah, it's all kinds of stuff, and this is the Conestoga, and thus endeth the lesson. The Lincoln Highway Dairy, Race Lane, Bedford, Pennsylvania. Let's go upstairs. There's the old post office box and window from Burning Bush Post Office, Bedford County. Collection of cribs and baby carriages, baby strollers, domestic life in old Bedford County. Wow. Broom maker's bench. All kinds of, a moving spindle wheel, apple peeler. Cast iron stoves. Very nice. Look down on the model of the fort. While Debbie reads each and every caption and commits them to memory. There's that famous flag. Watch your step. I'm not sure if that means to watch your step going down the staircase or to watch your steps so you don't run into this guy on a dark night in the woods. It says here he is wooden. Oh, he's a wooden Indian. Okay, not particularly representing anybody in particular. Debbie pointed this out to me. I missed this because it was behind the screen. I didn't come back here earlier. Collecting and relic hunting. There is quite a collection of arrowheads, stone implements. Here's a pestle for, looks like grinding corn flour. There's tools for making cornmeal. Smallpox. The ravage of the Native Americans from the Europeans. There we go. Okay, there's the view of the Fort Bedford Museum that you see from the US 30 bypass on the other side of the river. There's the Raystown branch, which flows eventually into the main stem of the Juniata River in Huntington, Pennsylvania, after forming Raystown Lake, a Corps of Engineers recreational lake built in the 1970s. Here's a reconstructed stockade, which supposedly is erected on the excavated footings of the original. So we're on the area that has unfortunately completely been built over the site of the fort, and they were able to find a part of the entrenchment and the post holes from the stockade that were out from underneath foundations of more modern buildings. So that's our visit to Bedford, or to Old Fort Bedford. So here we are behind the Golden Eagle Inn, and we find this stone marking the location of Fort Bedford, and Debbie's walking along looks like a fairly new walkway and staircase. Here's the interpretive plaque. You are here nearby. And they've got loopholes for the muskets here. And Debbie's pointing out that this is where, down at the bottom of the steps, is where we were 4 days ago when we were here. We walked down that trail and over there and thought that that section of wall down there was the only remnant, but apparently this is the reconstructed stockade. To give you an idea what it was like, here's the, we go through the musket loopholes. Very nice, very nice. Now we're going to go get our nice midday meal and some beers, not IPAs, at the pub in the basement of that green building up there, the Golden Eagle Inn. So we're sitting out on the under porch along the driveway. This is a nice little seating area. Ladies enjoying some wine and some soup. Nice little setting here in the alley. Birdhouses up there. Nice flowers and plants. Pleasant environment. Now we're going to move on to other historical sites around Bedford. That's it for this time. I hope you enjoyed this video and will take time to view some of our other ones.